right, hello everybody on the live stream. My name's the Mighty Beard, and we are here for another session of Agents of Beard. It's our West Marches style. What's like a hybrid. We're starting to make it into an actual campaign here, but we're playing D&D5e, and today we have a party from the Alphacraft Minecraft SMP. Now, last time we were together with this party, our mission was to escort the newly ordained mayor, the selected mayor for a new town that has popped up on the map called Crystal Head. And so we started out in Hovedstad, and we're slowly making our way to the drop-off point for that new mayor. Right now we are in Golden Grove, so this is technically part, as far as labeling goes, it's part 3 of a mini-series, but I think technically it's part 2, because we didn't really do a whole lot of the mayor business in that first part of that first episode. But yeah, okay, with us today is AlethaPrime. Say hello. Who are you playing?
Hello, I'm AlethaPrime, and I'm playing Wisp Ithrian, the Wood Elf Druid.
And
I don't know if he wants to say more.
Well, if you want to, yeah, feel free.
Nah, we're good.
All right, well, that's, yeah, I guess we moved on. And we also have the Gamer Hobbit playing Calgrim. Say hello.
Hello, good day, good evening. I'm playing Calgrim. He's a hill dwarf who wants to seek a life beyond the halls of stone and wants to unravel the mysteries of the giants and pass it down onto his kin.
Very good. And we also have Vels, played by Inditorias. Say hello.
Hello, hello. I am Vels Kell, a gem dragonborn from up north who is trying to bring the dragonborn people and integrate them in with the rest of the continent.
So far, for everyone, it's been a slow process to get to your individual goals, I guess. Yeah, the whole dragon business that, as far as your knowledge goes, at least, within the last 100 years, there's been a lot of infighting and stuff, and came up into an all-out fight and war about 20-ish years ago. And yeah, so trying to reconnect with everyone. You're making it. You're making some connections as you go. There's a few dragonborn that have already integrated, but there's a few places like this little dragonborn village just outside of Hovedstad that is not quite there yet. Not quite. And yeah, Calgrim, your giant runes, haven't really discovered those yet, but we also haven't spent a lot of time in the mountains or the north, or really anywhere outside of a city yet. Most of our stuff has been city based, except for those initial first 2, but there wasn't a whole lot of exploration. And yeah, Wisp, the closing of the gates, the Feywild gates.
Oh yeah.
I didn't ask this before, and I have a number in my head. I have an idea in my head of when this occurred, but you experienced the Feywild gates being open, correct?
Correct. Yes.
When was the last time that you saw them active?
Maybe about 10 years ago. Ish.
All right.
Then I spent some time with my family trying to figure things out there before going off on my own and trying to see more of the world and discover things.
Yeah, and you were down in the Tangled Hills / jungle area, so like right in between here. Were you aware of any other gates on the continent, or were you guys just kind of hyper focused on this particular area?
We're just focused on this one area. This was kind of our spot, and we didn't really need to spend a lot of time outside of it.
Sure. Very well. All right. So last time you guys we were together, you guys had made it to Golden Grove, and you got here roughly in the middle of the afternoon, and you guys kind of split off from the mayor, from the caravan. You guys like the mayor went in to the inn to eat. Just about everyone else in the caravan did as well. And but shortly after that, it was just kind of a quick meal before your mayor went into the mayor's house of Golden Grove to handle some business, just setting up trade negotiations, rubbing elbows, that sort of thing. Does anyone remember the mayor's name, the one that you're transporting?
I have Gardane Strongheart written down.
Yes, that is correct.
What is it again?
Gardane Strongheart.
Okay.
And yeah, so yeah, you guys got there about like 1 o'clock, did some general lounging, and you had lunch. Dinner time came through. You guys started eating. Wisp, you had a brief conversation with a fellow caravan member, Jabble the gnome. And you started that conversation about halfway through the travel, just to kind of investigate some weirdness that was happening. And once you got into town, that weirdness didn't necessarily stop. It seemed like there was added weirdness once you guys arrived. Whether that was him being a bit of an isolationist, or also the fact that it was pretty obvious to you that he was using a familiar, the Find Familiar spell, to look around at stuff. Potentially spying on you guys, from what you were able to witness when you were in the room. So yeah, who knows what's going on with Jabble, but Jabble heard the same sound that you guys heard. So as you guys were starting dinner, you opened up the windows and began to hear a light sound coming from the southwest, towards where the woods were in Golden Grove, and it sounded very reminiscent of the sound wind makes when it passes through things, like buildings and whatnot. So not necessarily a whistle, but just kind of like a low moan, almost like higher pitched. Almost you had to put a sound source that you're familiar with, almost bestial, maybe feminine in tone. But there wasn't really anything to it as far as like that you could take away. Like it wasn't like a song that was being sung, or wasn't voices. It was just this weird monotone moan that was happening. So Jabble also seemed to hear this and ventured out into outside of town into the woods. And shortly thereafter, Wisp, in cat form, went out to explore as well. And roughly just based on some things that were said at the end of last session, roughly 45 minutes later, Vels and Calgrim decided to investigate as well, only because Wisp had been gone for so long. And yeah, there's only so much time that you could invest in watching a mayor from across the road doing whatever he's doing, whether that's having conversations or just being slightly out of view, or eating a meal, or smoking from a pipe. It was a good time to get out. But you guys are on your way to figure out what is going on with Wisp and Jabble, where they went to. So we're gonna pick up there. Should note that the town has bells. They have a bell tower, and it seems like every hour on the hour, starting at 6 o'clock, they have been ringing them. So 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and we are picking up roughly, I want to say at 7:30. 7:45. So okay, Vels, Calgrim, you guys have begun to walk past the mayor's house. So again, Golden Grove, very small. There's, I think we counted 4 buildings in total in the downtown area. There's 2 larger ones, which being the tavern, as well as the mayor's house, and then you've got 2 small shops that are just down the street. And it seems like all the residences and whatnot are scattered through these fields. So it seems like everyone comes into town to eat and socialize, but most of the day they're out working the fields, because again, Golden Grove is known for their wheat fields. But it seems like there's only one path out. So Calgrim and Vels, you guys are heading out to the southwest direction towards the forest. We're gonna start off with this. I'm gonna need D6s from everyone, first and foremost. And again, we're looking for 1s and 6s, and this is kind of like a fate roll. Doesn't necessarily impact the story or the session directly, but indirectly, yeah, 6s mean that if someone's looking out for you, there's some extra information to pick up, or cache of healing potions or something. And 1 is more like worst case scenario happens kind of thing. But today we've got 2 3s and a 2, so neither. It's just a regular old session. But Vels and Calgrim, I'm gonna need perception checks from you guys.
Yep.
I got 22 and an 11. Good. All right, so again, there's no visual sign of Wisp the cat or Jabble as you guys start making your way out there. The path that you're taking, it's pretty small, maybe between 5 and 10 feet across. You've got fields on either side, fences kind of line each individual field. You've got 2 little irrigation ditches, so road, ditch, fence, field kind of situation. But yeah, I mean, overall, you're not necessarily seeing any visual signs of them. Like looking forward, pretty obvious if you go this route, which is the route that they went. the path will lead you to the tree line. But past that, you really can't see. Again, the tree line is about 10 minutes away. But I'd say during this, you're gonna notice two things. One is you're gonna notice the sound coming from the woods that you've been hearing for the last couple of hours is gradually getting louder. So it seems like whatever path that you're walking right now is leading you in that direction. The other thing you're going to notice is it's been mostly dry here. So there isn't much in the sense of footprints. Just so, like some scratches and whatnot on the floor. But I would say while you can't really see the actual prints themselves, I would say it is very obvious that two people were walking in this direction recently. So you're definitely confident that this is for sure the way they went. But on the ground, I would say about halfway there, you are going to find a feather laying on the ground. It's kind of on the larger side as far as bird feathers go. Grayish in color. With like gray exterior, some white pieces in the center, browns as well.
Odd. Did Jabble have any feathers on his person?
Not that I know of.
I don't recall any.
Was there any on his staff? Or
I don't remember, but I guess not. If there wasn't any, I wonder what kind of bird this feather would have belonged to. Most intriguing.
indeed, probably more of a larger bird, I imagine.
Definitely. Wisp seems the person that would know.
If only she was here, we would know.
Well, bet you they both went towards the sound. Seems like the most obvious place they'd both be headed.
Yeah.
We must be on the right track.
I wonder what this sound is, though. Do you have any ideas to what it could be?
Well, sounds similar to wind, but obviously no wind. Maybe it's sort of wind funnel? There's no mountains. It's all trees. Should stop wind, not amplify it.
Quick interjection. Wind funnel is a good word for it. That's definitely what it sounded like. Would make sense, sort of. You know, there's not a lot of buildings in town, but in town for sure. But you guys are now 5 minutes outside of town, going on 10 minutes outside of town, and the sound is still there and still apparent. And you've got nothing around you, but it's definitely coming from the woods in front of you.
Okay.
It's also not constant. It's there are some pauses in between, like it seems to go for about 10 to 15 seconds, and then it pauses for maybe 5 seconds, and then continues on. And it's like the same kind of pattern. Not necessarily precise, but just in general that sort of pattern that it's doing. But you guys continue to head into or up this path. You reach the woods, and that's where kind of like the path kind of stops. But there are very obvious markings as far as brush kind of being moved. You are seeing spaces that look like people have, or at least one person has walked through there recently. So the last session is mostly fresh in my memory because I just listened, but one piece of that I remember hearing was scratch marks left by the cat. Wisp, do you remember where you left those scratch marks?
It probably would have been right before I went into the trees.
Okay.
Or as I was going into the trees.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if it was at that point or closer to the well, but all right, we'll go with that. So yes, you will also notice scratch marks. 4 small scratch marks on one of the trees, just as you pass into the forest. Could easily be a sign from Wisp that this is the right path.
Well, it seems like we're heading on the right direction. Looks like Wisp left some trails for us to follow.
Yep, that's very thoughtful of her. Yeah, they definitely were pursuing that sound wherever it is.
Yeah. It seems like it's the right direction too.
Yeah, it's still getting louder. It's definitely coming from this way.
Suppose we just continue following it.
Okay, so we left about 7:45. I'd say at this point, 8 o'clock has hit. You guys would be hearing bells. Another ring from the bells from downtown. This time it rings 8 times. And as you continue walking, it's not necessarily a clearing. There's a lot of brush and stuff on the ground, but just a space where there isn't a whole lot of trees. Seems like about like a 30 by 30 radius here. But you're gonna see 2 things. The first thing is a stone structure that looks like maybe a well. Looks really old and grimy. Maybe about 3 foot high. Definitely looks circular. I'd say you're probably about 10 feet away from it. And then up ahead past that, about 15-20 feet. About 30 feet. You see a bit of a mound. So maybe the start of a hill. But as you guys are about 15 feet away from the well, would note that the sound that you've been hearing is louder here. This is definitely the loudest it's been so far. Again, it could be bestial. Could be a voice. Like maybe humanoid. But it's just like this low, well, like a higher pitched moan. Doesn't seem to have like it's trying to hit a musical note or anything like that. It's just kind of monotone. Maybe little ups and downs here and there, but that's about it. What would you like to do?
So,
Oh, sorry, you go.
yeah. So the sound's not coming from the well, right? It's still coming from the direction past it.
Well, you're about 10, 15 feet away from the well. You know it's still coming from that direction
Oh,
as far
okay.
as in front of you, but exact source you haven't pinpointed it yet.
All right. What is? Huh. Wonder what that's doing all the way out here.
Yeah, it's a bit far from town to have a well out here.
Maybe this is one of those remnants of the past age.
Could very well be.
Don't.
Want to take a
Colony
closer look?
markings out here. Yeah, yeah. Well, colony markings on the maps we saw in this area, though. To check when we get back.
Yeah.
Walking up closer to the well. Yeah, you guys are still hearing that sound. It's getting louder and louder as you move closer. It's a gradual thing, but yeah, it's pretty loud. Sticking your ear over the well, it almost seems like that sound is emanating from inside the well. Looking down, though, it's just dark. It kind of fades in the darkness. So, Calgrim with dark vision. I think your dim light range is like what, 60 feet? It seems like it's deeper than that.
Yeah. Well, I feel like Wisp probably wouldn't have gone down there.
No, definitely not.
It's strange how the sound is louder here. Unless it's connected to a cavern, and maybe it's echoing.
Maybe that could be it.
Main thing is, there's not really many caves around here by the looks of it. Trees.
Well, above ground, underneath ground, could be a massive cave system for all we know.
Could very well be.
Or maybe even an entire underground city.
This has definitely been the clearest it's sounded to you. It being echoed for sure does seem about right, but you are getting some definite tones being this close to the well.
Would I be able to drop like a torch down the well, like just to see how far it goes?
Lit torch or unlit?
A lit torch.
Sure.
Okay. Torch.
All right. So you light a torch and you drop it. Right. Take a look at something real quick. All right. So I would say as you drop it and it falls down, are you putting any spin on it or swirl, or just dropping it straight down?
I'll just drop it straight down just to see if there is a bottom that we
Flames
can see.
first or end first?
Just like on the side, basically. Dropping it from the side.
Okay. All right. Vels, are you watching down in the well
Yep.
as well to see?
Yeah,
what
Vels is
happens?
also
Okay.
watching.
Go ahead, both of you, and roll me another perception check. 19 and 14. So the obvious thing that you guys are going to notice is that it seems to go, again, rough estimate, about 60 or so feet before it hits water. As soon as it hits water and goes into it, the flame goes out. It does connect with something prior to hitting water there, so there could be a little bit of a landmass down there alongside of the water, but like one end hit ground, another end hit water. The flame side hit water. Smoke is coming up as it's falling, so visibility is a little bit down, but Calgrim, I would say for sure, well, I mean, both of you are going to notice that as it hits water, there is silence. The sound stops, like that low moan stops. And Calgrim, through the smoke, just at the bottom, you're pretty confident. You couldn't tell what it was, but something moved through the smoke at the bottom, like a shape of some kind. Moved from like one side of the well opening to the other, kind of going through the smoke.
See that thing down there?
What thing? No, I didn't.
Before the torch went out, there was something down there that just moved, like through the smoke.
Interesting.
And it's gone all quiet now.
So maybe that sound is that creature that you saw, and then the cameras are just amplifying it.
Possibly.
Interesting. It still doesn't solve the question of what a wisp is.
Yeah, it doesn't. I suppose we continue looking for her.
Yeah, wait. Wonder which way they would have gone. You know, without that sound, we're kind of lost.
Yeah, we're just stuck in the woods. Is there additional, like, claw marks, scratch marks around we could see?
Not that you're seeing from where you're standing.
Okay.
But as you
Is the
start
well
to
at all
move
close
away
to
from
where-
the... Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Is the well close at all to where I'm currently at?
Spoilers.
Details. Sorry.
As you guys begin to walk away from the well to start investigating the rest of this area, Again, you've got like this mound. It looks like the base of a hill, maybe. It's hard to tell because like on the other side there is some overgrowth. Some trees are starting. You're gonna the voice is gonna start again. That moan. Except I would say I'll look at character sheets again real quick. You guys are going to start hearing the sounds, but instead of just moans, it is what sounds like almost like a song of some kind. You can't make out all of the words because of the echoes, maybe. But the important bits. First of all, Calgrim, you're going to notice that they are in Dwarfish. So it's definitely about death and about being trapped and needing to end the curse. Those are the bits you're getting. But again, the voice is very soft. It's hard to hear everything because of the echoes. But it does sound like there's someone down there and someone that can speak Dwarvish.
Well, the sound started again. But I think I can... It's speaking in Dwarvish, I think. Whatever it is.
Oh.
Can't quite picture what... Can't quite get what it's saying, but... Something about a curse. And death. And being trapped.
That's certainly ominous.
Yeah. Definitely.
And it also does seem like it's the same few phrases over and over again. Again, if it's a song, then it's maybe it's the chorus that's being sung, or no.
Could be like a chant or something. I suppose, though, we should probably return to finding Wisp.
Yeah.
So scanning the area again, because again, you guys were in the midst of walking away from the well. You will notice that, well, at least Calgrim for sure. You're gonna notice that hill that's in front of you, the start of the hill. It actually, you are noticing glass. Seems like the overgrowth, like the vines and ivy, isn't completely over top of it. Maybe some got pushed to the side, but there's noticeable glass. Almost like a dome of some kind. Before you move on, let's go back down to Wisp. Wisp, you've been down here for a little while. So you just where we left off, you had cleared some of the leaves for Jabble, and you've made your way down here.
Mhm.
What is your overall plan here? Because you've studied the statue, and there didn't seem to be a lot going on with it. I mean, it looks like the person the statue is depicting seems of elvish heritage, robed. There is a black sword there, but again, it's hard to tell if the sword was maybe just protected from the elements, and the rest of the statue was also painted, and the paint just kind of went away because there is a lot of there is some wetness down here. There's obviously mushrooms and other overgrowth that has crept in. The tree breaking through, also let in some of those elements. So, but when you detected magic, you didn't really detect anything from it. The only thing that showed magic was the mosaic that was in the center.
And weren't there words around it as well that we were able to translate?
Yes, they were in Elvish. And the wording was, the moon reveals autumn path, use patience, and let it shine.
Yeah, so I think... I don't know if Jabal and I officially discussed it, but I was thinking that we would just kind of wait until the sun started to go down to kind of see if something happened.
Yeah, that was.
But at the same time,
yeah, that was Jabal's thought as well, from what you remember.
Mm-hmm. I think we did a pretty thorough, once over of the room, and that was the only thing really of interest. So, but at the same time, I'm also trying to decide whether or not to go back and get Kalgrim and Vels. But this is also really interesting, and I'm really curious, and I want to see what happens.
So based on the time that you think it is, you're fairly certain that, like, the moon is already starting to rise, because that usually happens pretty early. But as far as moonlight kind of shining down, fairly certain within like the next half hour to hour is when that would occur. So your intention is to wait it out with Jabal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I think we looked above around the area as well and didn't really see anything of note.
Yeah.
And then went back inside.
Yeah, you had gone outside to detect magic on the well.
Oh yeah.
But okay, we'll pass it back up to the top. The other party, that is. You guys are seeing what appears to be a glass, almost like a dome-like structure. Kalgrim, you're the one that notices this. What would you like to do?
I'll tell Vels about it and head over to it. Hey, Vels, you seeing this over here? This mound? It's got a bit of glass. What looks to be glass in it.
I can vaguely see it, but
It's a bit odd to have some glass in a mound. I'm gonna go and check it out.
yeah.
Getting closer, you guys are going to see that, yes, in fact, it does look like some kind of glass dome. So probably a structure underneath it. There is quite a bit of overgrowth, leaves and vines and ivy. But it definitely does look like some of the ivy has been pushed away. Closer to the top, you're noticing some open spaces on the ground next to where this dome stands some ivy that looks like it's been freshly pulled away. So how close are you getting to it?
We're like a few feet away from it now.
Okay.
It's a bit odd to have a dome kind of thing. Wonder what's down there. Well, if there's anything in it. Got any thoughts?
I'm definitely curious, but maybe we did go in there. Is there a way in?
Take
Am
a
I
closer
hearing any of
look.
this?
Negative. Well, I let me rephrase. It does. I mean, it doesn't seem like they're talking very loudly.
Okay.
Actually, let me take a step back from that. You do have a very high passive perception.
I think it's 20.
I don't have that high, but it is close to that. But okay. Yeah, okay. I'd say you would hear
Oh, it's 16.
both movement and some voices. Not necessarily what's being said, but you can definitely hear that someone's outside above you.
Oh,
Again,
okay.
you're roughly 20 feet down from the base of the ceiling, and then the glass dome extends over top of that, and they're like 3 to 5 feet away, it sounds like. But yeah, you're noticing it.
So are you guys looking down inside, like past the glass, or are you just kind of looking at the glass?
I'm just kind of like looking at the glass itself.
Yeah, more looking like not inside just yet.
Well, I'm going to move around down below to see if I can see what's going on up there. Not sure what it is, but I heard something.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm not gonna have you roll. I would say if you're moving around to try to get a better vantage point from down there. Again, they're roughly 3 feet away. But I would say if you get close enough to one of the edges, you would be able to see.
Like the top of Vel's head.
Yeah, the top of Vel's head.
I guess I'm just gonna yell up there, "Hey guys!
Wisp?
Hi!
Wisp?
There's a hole over to the side. Let me show you." And I'll crawl out and show him how to get inside.
Okay.
I hope you don't mind, Javel. It's fine.
So, yeah, where she climbs out is on the opposite side of where you guys are. Yeah, it looks like a tree had collapsed through, had fell and collapsed through the top of the dome on one side of it. And yeah, she where she had climbed up, you can see that there's a path to get back down into it. Seems easy enough to climb down. But what's that conversation like as you guys are meeting for the first time in roughly an hour? ish.
Kind of surprised you guys found us. I'm glad, but surprised.
Wouldn't have expected to find you under some glass dome thing, but it's good to see that you're in one piece.
Yeah.
Agreed. Although I kind of wasn't the one who found it. That was Jabble's doing.
Oh.
So do you have any idea what this place is?
Not a clue, but we are inside and we are waiting for the sun to go down, actually. I was thinking about getting you guys, but I was also super curious, and so yeah, we're just kind of waiting here, and nothing too terribly magical except for the glass itself, it seems like. The stone, the black sword, is that made of stone or metal?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I won't bother Calgrim about it.
All right. Well, it sounds like maybe you guys are all gonna head back down in to observe. So I'll move you down to that map. So what you guys will see as you climb down is so there's some overgrowth. Vines and ivy are making their way down the walls, especially where the open glass is. And then you guys are climbing down this tree log here. In the center there is a mosaic. It looks very sun-esque. You know, it's got the rays, it's got that circular pattern in the center. There's also a statue up here that appears to be of elvish heritage, and yeah, like a lot of mushroom and dirt. But Drabble's over here. Drabble is kind of sitting and raises his hand to wave towards you.
Nod
Wave
my
my hand
head.
in return.
Not sure if you've all actually met. So this is Jabble, and this is Vels and Calgrim.
Hi.
Hello, Jabble.
Welcome
day.
to the party. We are anxiously waiting to see if our theory is correct about the moonlight.
Moonlight.
Point out the inscription and translate what it says.
I had Wisp clear out some of the leaves from up top, hoping that if it is some kind of puzzle or something, that moonlight would actually be able to shine through here. She detected there was some magic related to this. I found some grooves. Think this thing turns or lowers or raises or something. There's something about it. There's definitely a groove, scratch marks on it, so something moves. But Wisp thinks it's magic, so we don't really know what else to do. Unless you all have some ideas.
Well, magic is not really in my field of expertise, but yeah, I wouldn't know what else to do other than wait.
Yeah, I definitely could see magic being involved in opening this. I don't see any other signs of opening it if there are grooves.
I just kind of lay down on the ground and look up at the glass and just wait.
Based on your memory of where the moon was and path that you had created, you think that the moonlight should have a good path down into here. So, unless there's anything else that you guys would like to do in between now and then, I think we can fast forward a bit to where the moon finally has an opportunity to shine.
She doesn't look familiar to me, right?
Who?
The elf, yeah.
It's the hood is the issue. So there's definitely poking up bits on either side of the hood that again seems to suggest elven ears. And then facial structure again seems to suggest that. But seeing the you're basically seeing like nose down, not seeing
kind of
eyes.
nondescript.
Yeah.
Okay. Can't think of anything else I want to do.
All right. About a half hour passes by, roughly at about 8:30. First beams of moonlight are passing in here. It is relatively dark otherwise, so I think bells it's starting to get a bit difficult for you to see things, but you're at least aware of where your party is and what they're the hypothesis they're trying to test, so no need to necessarily do anything just yet. But yeah, I'd say at about 8:30 the beams of moonlight start to, or rays of moonlight start to come down. First starts roughly over on this edge. About 10 minutes pass and extends further. But it's definitely making its way to the mosaic. Just a slow process. Say another 20 minutes goes by. Finally, the moon rays are getting closer to the center of the mosaic. Definitely all getting the sense of or seeing reflection. Seems like the colors begin to glow a little bit. Moonlight catches them. Within 10 more minutes.
Is these stained glass? Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Is the stained glass dome up above the same pattern as the one on the floor?
Reminiscent, but not exact.
Okay.
And it's hard to kind of tell what the overall pattern was, just because of the overgrowth and some of it's broken.
Right.
You do have some vines growing on the ceiling as well. But yeah, I'd say within another 10 minutes, the entire center is hit by the light. All the colors are filled in and much, much brighter. Despite it just being moonlight, Vels, you're not having any seeing in here now. And you're gonna hear movement. Stone versus stone. We'll look over to the source, and it's definitely that centerpiece. It's starting to move, starting to rotate. We are right, Wisp. It's moving. Grapple gets
this is
a
exciting.
bit closer. And it's rotating very slowly. And then begins to rise. As it rises, it catches that moonlight even stronger. But yeah, as it rises, it's to about 10 feet up. Dome is about 30 feet up at its peak. But there is a stairwell there.
Turn to Jabal. Do you want to go first, or do you want me to?
You all are the adventurers. Show me what you do.
I start heading down the staircase. Let's go.
I'll follow.
Going to take you all off the map briefly, so it's all gonna go dark for you. But if you scroll down on the map, you should be able to start seeing yourself.
Yep.
So the door is open. And you can start to peek through Wisp. And what you see... a lot of bones. There's a lot of bones on the ground. You guys climbed roughly 20 feet down as you're making your way out of here. But there's just a lot of bones that are on the ground in front of you. Wisp, you do see there is a door directly across from you.
Okay. Do the bones look like they've been here for a long time?
I think there's an obvious range. Bones that look older than others. One's closer to the bottom as you're looking through. It's not actually filled. Like, you don't actually have to... Well, okay. You're not... If you step out of this room, it's not like you're on a bed of bones. They're just kind of scattered about in this room. So there's definitely room to move outside of that. But at the same time, there are like bones on top of bones. So I would say, yeah, it's definitely a range. I would say they all look generally old from just passive nature or passive medicine. But there's definitely a range to it.
I quietly relay this to the people behind me. There's quite a few bones down here. And I'm going to carefully step out, trying not to step on any of them.
Okay.
Quite a few bones.
I don't want to interject too much because I like to observe. I know you guys are trained professionals when it comes to delving in this sort of thing. But I do have a concern. We might have a limited amount of time that we can be down here. When we arrived, the door was closed. The moonlight made it appear. That
You have a
moonlight goes away.
point.
That's correct.
Yeah. The door
Hmm.
closed.
I wouldn't necessarily suggest that these people were trapped down here, but
It's a
I don't want to
possibility.
test the theory.
Yeah.
Neither do we.
Well, if you want to head back to the top of the stairs and kind of keep an eye on things, you might be able to let us know when the moon. Well, I guess it's probably going to go pretty quick. If you want to head back upstairs, I want to examine this door over here real quick.
I'm gonna light a torch so I can see.
Does it look like this door heads in the direction of the well? Roughly?
Yes. So let me think about this. Let me look at your character sheet. Let's do it this way. Everybody, because you're all proficient in nature, everybody roll me a nature check. We'll do a group check. 23. Okay. Crit is nice. So 23 or 14 and 5. I'll say with the crit, that would equal out to 2 successes. So what I'll say is based on the time that it took the door or the mosaic to be fully lit, or at least lit enough to move the mosaic, that you guys are under the assumption that the door will close in about an hour. So you've got an hour. With dungeon delving, there's usually well, I don't want to say usual because it's rare that DMs do this, but what I'll say is the normal turn, according to the DMG, is 10 minutes per room to do everything you want to do. So if there's under 6 rooms in here, then you should be okay. If there's more than 6 rooms in here, then you might be cutting it close. But you have about an hour. So yes, you have 2 doors in front of you, Wisp. You've got 2 double doors. Again, just kind of basing it on where you think you are, because unfortunately you just went around this spiral staircase. But you think a well could be in that direction. Yes.
I'd like to start heading basically in that direction.
Okay. Go ahead and
Are
open
the doors
door.
locked? Ooh.
They are not.
Let's go.
So in this hallway, we've got a stairs, or I'm sorry, we've got a door going to the south of you, and another double door in front of you. And let's backtrack real quick before we move forward. You began to instruct Jabal to go upstairs. I don't know if you finished that instruction. So are you telling Jabal to stay upstairs?
Unless he wants to come with us, I suggest that he hang out at the top of the stairs, and that way he can also yell down some warning as well if the moon starts to move a little too far.
That does seem interested in being with you, but
if he wants to come,
if you instruct him to go upstairs, well, he won't necessarily fight it. No,
what do you guys think?
I think that's a good plan. I can watch it and yell down if I see anything that seems concerning.
I'll give you a full report of what I see.
Very well. Good luck.
Thank you.
And he will make his way upstairs. So, okay, you've got a single door going down to the south. You got double doors to the straight in front of you. What would you like to do?
What do you guys think?
Let's at least open up the doors. That way we can see what's through. And judge based on that. Oh, this is a circular room. There seems to be a pillar in the middle. Is that a pillar?
Well, no,
Well.
not really. What you see in front of you is a stack of rocks, maybe about 2 feet high, seemingly circular. The other thing you're going to notice is that, especially off the reflection of the torch, 3 what appear to be copper or maybe gold, but definitely of that color. Bells. Not as large as the bells in the bell tower, but definitely of the same kind of idea. But they're all kind of sitting on top of pedestals.
Does it look like there's anything on the floor, or does it look pretty clear?
It's a little wet in here. There is some rubble around that center, so some loose gravel and rocks around, but nothing else. Nothing else is super noticeable on the ground. But the sound that you guys were hearing, I should say that you were still hearing it upstairs. You were hearing it as you came down, though muffled. In the room that you were just in, muffled. In this hallway that you're in, muffled. Until you open the doors. And now you are hearing it very clearly, as if it's coming from this room.
This probably leads... There's like a hole in the middle that leads down. Carefully walking, because I don't want to slip.
Walking in, yeah, you guys get a better view of what this room is like. The section in the center is about 10 foot wide. But looking up, you can see there's also an opening in the ceiling about 10 foot wide. Again, based on proximity of where you think you are, this could be part of the fall into the well. You have the well opening up top, and looking over this, again, you're seeing that hole that fades into darkness. But the sound, it does sound like it's coming from the well itself.
Oh, so it goes down even further.
It goes down even further. You guys are about roughly 40 feet down at this point.
This could be the well from earlier.
It's very loud. It's very loud and super obvious that the sound is kind of just echoing off of the walls in this room.
And so it just looks like rubble around the hole.
Stacks of stone, but stones that has some moss on it, mossy cobble, if you will.
All right, so it's been there at least for a bit.
Yeah.
So if I look down, can I see about approximately how far down it goes?
With the torchlight, You can see two things. You can see a couple pockets of water and some land mass down there. So definitely, like, directly in the center is water. So you are getting a reflection from the torch. But there is some greenery down there as well. So again, this everything that you guys would have figured out so far, that this is probably the well that was connected above. If this was a well, the water that was down there isn't as prominent as it once was. Definitely some overgrowth down there.
Okay. But I'm guessing it's more than 20 or 30 feet down.
A best guess is, an additional 20 to 30 feet down. Probably 30.
Okay.
At least to the top of the water. Who knows how deep that piece of the water is.
Okay. We can either
sorry.
Oh, we can either head in or we can look at some of the other rooms.
We can go check out the stairs.
Which
In
stairs?
this room, besides the well, there are 3 bells in the 3 corners opposite the door.
If I go look at them, do they have any sort of writing, or are they blank?
There's definitely markings on them of being struck.
Okay.
So you've got some dents, you've got some bruising on the outside of the metal. Some scratches. As far as engravings or anything like that, no. There's nothing like that. There's nothing on the pedestals. But they're definitely in a position that, like, again, it's like a pedestal. The bell isn't flush with the pedestal. The bell is lifted up by, like, bracers on either side. So they're definitely in a spot that they could be wrong.
Okay. So they're villager bells.
Quite possible.
Well, I'm not sure if what's down there knows that we're here or cares that we're here. Any ideas what we should do next?
Well, we could check the other door and see where that leads.
Maybe see if there's some information as for what kind of place this is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I picked one door. You get to pick the next one.
I think it's locked.
It currently is, yeah.
That's puzzling.
So yeah, if you reach down to open up the door, it does appear to be locked.
Oh, quick question. Was
Yes.
the time that we spent waiting for the sun to go down, could that be considered a short rest?
Yes, I would say all of you would have gotten a short rest in that initial room.
Okay. Got one of my wild shapes back. Thank you.
Of course.
So that door to the south is the only other door in this corridor?
Correct. Yeah. The double doors that went into the bell/well room, double doors that went up to where the staircase is. You got a singular door going to the south of you that appears to be locked. These don't have like handles on them. They're like twisty handles. They're like rings. But pulling on the ring, pushing on the door doesn't budge. It definitely appears to be locked.
The door made out of?
Wood. Yeah, maybe an oak. Seems very old. But dry. Comparing it to the double doors that you just went through to the well room, those like looking on the other side of it, there is a moisture to it. But this one seems dry. The two that you entered in initially were dry as well.
Is there any sort of space under this southern door?
No, it seems rather flush.
Rats.
There is obvious drag marks on the ground, or scrape marks on the ground, so it definitely feels like the door would pull towards you.
Is there a keyhole?
There is.
Can I look through it?
Yes. Don't get a complete look. Seems like some kind of locking mechanism or something blocking your full view, but the room on the other side seems rather dark.
I can't pick locks. I don't want to break down that door, so.
Or if it comes to it, I could break down the door with my hammer. But it might disturb whatever's down there.
So no matter what we do, we're going to make some sort of noise.
Yeah. So what other options do we have? We either knock down the door, try to ring the bell, see what that does. Both options are going to disturb him.
Try to ring the bells, eh? See what they do.
Do we want to do it on 3?
Sure.
Yeah.
We're gonna ring all bells at the same time.
Yep.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Everybody roll me d6s.
Oh, I'm excited.
All right. So Vels, we got a 6 from you. Calgrim, we got a 4. Wisp, we got a 6. So Vels, Wisp. What are you ringing these with, by the way? I mean, like, are you striking it? Because it does look like there are markings from like a hammer hitting it. There is a rope inside though that you could swing and ring it that way too. But just curious, how are you guys rolling this?
Oh, if there's a
Or
rope,
ringing
then use rope.
Yeah.
I'll
That's what I
just
would
use my hammer. Just smash the thing until it makes a noise.
Like it.
Okay. All right, so you all ring the bells simultaneously. And they let off a beautiful sound, almost as if their pitches are matched to make a chord. It's a beautiful sound. The sound coming from inside the well, which again has been rather loud and echoey, especially in this room, stops. In its place, you guys are going to hear voices coming from the area of the hallway that you entered in through. Low-toned voices, almost monotone sound. Various voices. It almost sounds like a chanting. The other thing you're going to notice is that you're besides that chanting. Actually, nah, never mind. The other thing you're going to notice is that you're going to feel a little movement in the ground, and you're going to hear what sounds like, again, coming from the same general direction, rocks falling.
I don't like that sound.
Yeah, I think we definitely woke someone up.
Mm.
Voice of the chanting is very muffled. Again, seems like it's coming from that hallway.
Towards the hallway and see if it seems like they're coming closer.
Definitely sounds like it's on the other side of this door.
What do we do? Do we get out of here? Do we stay?
Maybe we try to open the door. See if that maybe unlocked it or something.
It seems like there's somebody right on the other side of the door.
Anyone
No,
want to volunteer?
Not just on the other side of the door, but it's definitely coming from that direction.
Oh, okay. So if I stand in front of the door, does it sound like the sound is coming closer?
No. But it is very present. You're not sensing any fluctuation in the tone, as far as getting louder or anything like that.
I very carefully push on the door to see if, or pull on the door to see if it opens. Like, very slowly.
No. But Calgrim, looking at how the locking mechanism is set up, it's almost like an iron, like a rusted iron, or maybe like a brass. It's definitely something you think you might be able to open up with your smith tools. Got a hammer in there and probably something you can probably pry it off without really damaging the door. You damage the lock, but you wouldn't necessarily damage the structure.
Mind if I have a look at the door?
Be my guest.
See here. Looks like it's like an iron kind of lock with some brass. Let's see if I can have a crack at opening the door.
Give me 1 second. I'm gonna import something to your sheet.
Thank you.
All right, so smith's tools. Because you're proficient, so you should have had them. Yeah, you got hammers, tongs, charcoal, rags, and whetstone. But yeah, with tongs and the hammer, for sure, you think you can maneuver around it. It'll take you a few minutes, unless you'd like to roll. Would you like to roll? You click the
Yeah.
use smith buttons there. And then as far as what to roll with it, wisdom.
Okay.
Yeah, so when you get started, you think you can probably take it down within a couple of minutes. But as you get started, it starts to pull away a lot quicker. Within 10 seconds, you're able to pull off that front plate, and then you're able to manipulate the locking mechanism from there to open it up. But yeah, within 15-20 seconds, you're able to remove the locking mechanism and open it.
There we go.
And looking down, it appears to be a stairwell of some kind. But yes, the chanting is much louder.
Guess we just venture forth. There's a door here to the right. Is that locked?
Before you open it, let me give you some context here real quick. So the first thing is the stairs. You've climbed down about 20 feet of stairs before you hit this door. There is a door there. Looks to be made out of the same kind of material as far as a locking plate. It's made out of iron. It's a wooden door. You've also got stairs heading down to the south. But the chanting is loud here. And it does seem to be coming from the other side of this door. So, before you open up the door, let's talk about what your reaction to that is and what you would like to do.
Does it look like there's any light on the other side of the door?
No, nothing present. There's no light seeping through from the cracks.
Are we able to decipher what the chanting is now, since it's more clearer?
It's still muffled because of the door. It is louder for sure, but no, it just sounds like vocal patterns, notes being hit, not words in particular.
Okay. So we have a door and more stairs. But it sounds like that the voices are behind this door. Do you two reckon?
Seems to be that way so far. Do we want to go down and kind of see what's around that corner before we decide?
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea.
Very well.
So keeping my ear out just to...
Yeah. As you reach here, Calgrim, you are going to see a bunch of rocks on the ground, as if this hallway had been caved in. There's dust, like, throughout this hallway, actively moving away from the pile, actively coming from the ceiling. This seems, based on, again, your mining experience, you can tell this is a fresh cave-in. You did just hear the sounds of rocks falling, ground trembling.
Well, that's where the rocks are. It seems like it's a dead end. Looks like a fresh one too. No doubt
Yeah.
from
us, yeah.
I guess that simplifies our options.
I'm gonna move you guys back. Because once you get... Well, okay. I would say you guys can finish your conversation as you're doing it, but let's not move any further up the stairs.
Okay.
Beyond the rocks and the dust, is there like anything else here? Like any kind of water or marks or anything?
No. Some freshly made rock on stone markings. As like rocks kind of like ping the floor here, but yeah, you're not seeing any markings, no wetness. The dust is actively moving, so you don't really see any prints over here. So, and actually, the floor going down the stairwell up to the spot you're standing, relatively clean. No dust or dirt or anything. It's just here that dust is starting to settle.
Okay. I suppose it's the door then.
Bells, I'm going to move you back. Wisp, I'm going to move you here, because once you get to this point, as you guys start making your way back up, Wisp, you're going to hear the door open. And the chanting is very loud here. You're going to start to hear footsteps.
Do we run?
So, initial 6-second reaction to that.
We're in hide.
And is it dark in this corridor?
I mean,
I have a
yes.
torch.
Oh, the torch?
Yes. Vels has a torch out. Otherwise, it would have been dark.
Can he quickly extinguish the torch?
I think as an action, within 6 seconds, it would be possible, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not sure the mechanics of a torch, but I'd imagine you can just push that up against a wall to burn out.
Yeah. Actually, at the very least, I have prestidigitation, which one of its things is instantly snuff out a torch. So
Yes. Okay.
that is one action. So, yep.
And then I will cast Pass Without Trace on us.
Snuff out my torch.
And we hide.
All right. So pass without trace. That means everyone's got a plus 10 on their stealth roll. I believe. The next 8 hours. So everybody roll me stealth. And then Wisp, you can move wherever you would like to. And then let's roll initiative. You've got a plus 10 to that, so that's a 13.
There we go.
We have not moved.
Plus 10.
We have not moved to the D&D1 rules yet. Means an automatic failure, so we'll go with the 13. So 13, 14, and 14. Okay, very good. And let me double check
24?
something. Yes, I'm sorry.
Yep.
13, 24, 24.
13,
very
14,
good.
24. I added plus 10.
Oh, you already did. Okay. good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. And so, all right, let's go ahead and roll initiative.
It's going to get real interesting.
Oh.
Where are the button?
Not necessarily because we're about to get into a fight, but yeah, so something's taking place, and having initiative running, I think, would be well.
Where's that button?
So it depends on where you are, but if you're in your character sheet, underneath Druid proficiency, you have initiative on the top right. You just hit the word initiative.
There we go.
Very good. All right, so Wisp, you heard the door open. You quickly cast Pass Without Trace. You guys have are hidden, but you're at the top of the order. What is your what are you doing in this situation? You know, whoever is chanting is probably inside of that room, just based on the loudness of it, especially once the door opened. It was a lot more clear. It wasn't as muffled sounding. So whatever is making that sound is coming through the doors. What would you like to do?
I am going to quietly wait here, but also prepare frostbite in case something starts coming in our direction. If anything starts coming at us in a way that I perceive as an attack. But other than that, I'm just going to wait and listen.
All right. Passive is pretty high perception-wise, so you're going to hear footsteps coming out. It's going to be a combination of a few different sounds. Definitely boots. But also kind of like a clicking, clacking sound. Not of coins or metal, but maybe of bones. Almost like a rattling sound.
It's not a good sound.
It sounds like they're heading up the stairs. The chanting continues. But yes, there are people or something heading upstairs. I forgot to begin combat, so let's go to Calgrim. I think you would also probably be aware of the sound of movement. It sounds like it's moving away from you. It's still chanting, though. A little difficult to tell, but yeah, you could definitely hear foot movement, footsteps. Those steps seem to be moving away from you. Chanting continues, though.
I'll probably just ready my Warhammer and wait. I'll just have it like, yep, just bring it out, have it ready.
Okay. You're in a bad spot to be able to use it. You got two people in front of you. You're kind of bottled in here. But I would say you could definitely have it out.
Yeah.
Anything else?
That's all. Yeah. Oh, in my turn.
Bells. Same thing. For
All right.
chanting is louder. And there is movement. It seems like it's going up the stairs.
Given it's moving away from us, I'm gonna assume it's not gonna come down, so I'm just gonna remain hiding for the time being.
Okay. Sounds good. Wisp.
So I'm gonna peek around the corner and see if I can see them going up the stairs.
Okay. Go ahead, peek around the corner. Oh, yes, the torch is gone. So, Vels is in darkness. Wisp, you can see up to the door, but just, yeah, you're basically 30 feet down, looking up. You're not seeing anything at the top of the stairs. Not seeing anything in the stairwell at all. The door is still open, just based on context of being able to hear the chanting. Sounds like chanting is still happening inside of the room.
Okay, so the stairwell's clear. I'm gonna move up and like peek carefully into the door, trying not to like touch it or move it, but I just want to see if I can see what's inside.
All right, before you do that, we'll go right there and we'll say got a little better of a viewpoint of the top of the stairs. And there's definitely humanoid shapes up there, but you're definitely aware that they're mostly bones. You can see that there are skeleton-like creatures upstairs. You're mostly only seeing like maybe waist to knees, but yeah, you're seeing a lot of bones that are moving around. Peeking in this room, though, I'll say you could peek in without actually moving up there. So you could peek in, but the chanting is loud. It seems to be emanating from the figures that you just saw in there, and there are more skeletons in there. Some of them are sitting, others are standing, but they are looking in the direction of the doorway. You see some books that are laying around in the on these benches that the two are sitting on. There's a lot of bookshelves in here with books. And this dude is holding a book. You've moved 20 feet. What would you like to do? How do you want to use that information?
I'm going to assume that the other two are going to follow up behind me, and I will let them know what I saw. But I'm going to hold here so that way we all stay together, but I'll hold another frostbite again.
So a frostbite being held, and what is the trigger?
If it seems like something is coming towards me to attack me.
Attack you. Okay. All right. And frostbite is just a cantrip, correct?
It's just a cantrip. Mm-hmm.
Cool. And let's open that up. So frostbite is Constitution save throw. Okay. All right. Sounds good. There are skeletons at the top of the stairs. See them moving out of your view. Another one move into your view.
Are they moving? Can I tell if they're moving into the room with the well?
Definitely went in that direction. Another one went up towards the other room. The chanting is going to continue. You're going to hear more stuff. Let's go stealthing. Let's look at passive perception here. I was not going to make that. So this guy is going to walk out and is looking up the stairs. And just kind of pauses. But will turn to look down the stairs. And you're being stealthy. But I don't... there's nothing really to hide behind. So I'm gonna say he sees you. And again, chanting coming from this figure. But he is going to look to you, and you see a hand moving in your direction. Is that your trigger?
I'm assuming anything undead is probably not a good thing, so yeah, I'm gonna fire off a frostbite.
All right, so it's Constitution saving throw. We'll make that save. Yeah, we'll make that save. So yeah, so no half damage there. But it does see that you make us that you try to use a spell. Doesn't see what happens, and so it starts reaching towards you, and then stops, and you see the bottom jaw. Like the chanting stops from this figure. You're still hearing the chanting elsewhere, but the jaw kind of drops open, and you see it almost laughing at you. I'm gonna need you to make a charisma saving throw.
No. Okay.
You make it. Very good. Very good. You made the save, but you're still kind of off put by this. You're gonna take 1 psychic damage.
Okay.
And that is... Yeah, I think that's all it does. But then as it starts to laugh, you're going to hear some of the chanting kind of die down. Start quieting. Calgrim, you're aware that Wisp is no longer there. You're starting to hear the sounds of the chanting disappear, and but some laughter happening from up the stairwell. What would you like to do? It's definitely not Wisp laughing.
Is there enough room for me to squeeze by?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I whisper to Vels. That doesn't sound good at all. I go over here. I think that's all I can move.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and you can see on the other side of Wisp. You've got line of sight of it, but not within melee range for your weapon. But you can see a skeleton there that is looking down at Wisp and laughing. What would you like to do?
I think I'll just end my turn there.
Okay. Sounds good. Vels.
I am going to.
Hearing the laughter.
Yeah.
You don't have a much sight. You see
Yeah.
the stairs.
I'm gonna hold off on my torch just yet. There's
You
there.
think Cal comes right there?
Yeah, right there.
Chanting is died down a little bit. Cackling is heard. But again, you guys are in the stairwell. Not much room to move around. 5, 10, 15 feet to get here.
Then. Well, I'm going to assume that they know we're here, so there's no reason to really hide anymore. So I'm going to use my action to cast Prestidigitation and relight my torch. Yeah.
Sounds good.
See you again. Oh,
With
there's.
yeah, you can see the skeleton. It is laughing. Wisp, with that extra light, you can fully see the landing, and you only see one skeleton. So, all right, Vels. What would you like to do? Anything else? That was your action.
That's
Any
gonna
bonus?
be it.
All right, sounds good. Wisp, it is your turn. I'm gonna need you to make a Wisdom saving throw, please.
All right, come on.
Okay. Very good. So this laughing is definitely not nice. Not a nice thing to do to someone. It's not. It's a weird spot because it's not necessarily aggressive towards you, but a bit demoralizing. The laughter did hurt you one point of psychic damage, but other than that, like, it hasn't moved to physically get involved with you. But you are aware that the rest of the party is like in this hallway right behind you. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna get on the other side of this skeleton for one thing.
So you can't freely move through. You would have to force yourself through, which would be kind of like a shove action. So you could shove this guy out of the way.
I don't see that going very well. But I don't have a whole lot of options, so I guess I will try shoving him out of the way.
All right, let me look something up real quick. And yeah, and you guys share the same size, so yeah, you can't really. Yeah, I'm gonna say just because of the space, the context of where you are, your only option is to shove him out of the way. Shove action will just run with. I think. Well, we can shove aside. Just athletics versus athletics. So just a contested athletics check.
Looks about right.
You rolled a 7. It rolled a 4. So you are able to shove it to the side or push it back. Your choice.
I wanted to go to the side, so that way we have a way of getting past it.
Okay. Shove it to the side, and then yeah, you can freely move.
10. Oh, do I want to go further? Yeah, we don't want to be in the staircase. So I'll go another 20 feet.
Okay. Anything else?
Since I don't know what more of what's going on, I just want to get out of this stairwell.
Sure. Okay.
Just clarification. So it didn't try and take a. Did it try and take a attack of opportunity?
No, it did not.
Okay, I will take note of that.
I am just I'm thinking because you shoved it aside that threw it off balance. So yeah, I would say that it would make sense for it not to be able to. But okay. We move on to the skeleton's turn. So the chanting has subsided. Cackling is heard. You're hearing the bones move up to the north as well, Wisp. But let's start off here. Calgrim, I'm going to need a wisdom saving throw from you as well as Vels.
Where do I find that in the character sheet, sorry?
Wisdom saving throw. You can click the word wisdom, and that'll open up a menu. Or if you've got your token set up or selected, you've got like a little pop-up menu that appears somewhere on the top right of the screen. And you'll have a saves option there.
Ah, cool. Thank you.
Okay, the DC was 10, so Calgrim, you're going to fail that save. And so you're going to take... I'm sorry, you just feel a bit demoralized. So you are going to have disadvantage on attack rolls until the start of your next turn.
Okay.
I don't have a token. I'll just put this here, but you're not weakened. Vels, you passed. All right, so let's start up here then. This guy is going to move down. And again, I'm going to need a charisma saving throw from you, Wisp. DC of 12. 18. That will save. You're going to take half the damage. So go ahead and take 3 psychic damage.
Okay.
At the top of the stairwell, this guy is going to pull out a short bow. And it's going to take a shot at you. Will hit. For piercing.
Is that for 4?
4 piercing, yes.
Oh, joy.
So this guy's going to move out and is going to start chasing after you. But it's going to get, I'm going to say just right there. This guy's going to come out and sees the activity happening. Is also going to pull out, it's going to pull out a short sword and move down towards you, Calgrim. We'll take a swing. Roll the 20, so we'll hit. And for 8 piercing damage as he just swings it and pierces it into an opening in your armor.
Okay.
Yeah, and we'll leave it at that. Calgrim. You have disadvantage on whatever I said. Next attack.
Yeah. And I'll just go and just use my hammer against this skelly guy in front.
Okay.
Oh, my bad. Attack. Disadvantage.
A 12 will miss.
Okay.
So yeah, it sees you coming, kind of just pushes your hammer to the side with its sword, blocking you from connecting. Anything else?
I'll like to use my action surge.
Okay.
There we go. Let's take an additional action. Okay.
Yep. So you can attack again.
Yeah, I'll go for a round 2.
Okay,
this still be a disadvantage.
Roll normal. No, roll normal.
Okay.
15 connects.
Heal.
For
There you
7.
go.
And yeah, you slam down with this. Bones crack in its chest. You see a few bones just kind of like scatter around it. Definitely did quite a bit of damage. You think another one of those would easily take this thing out.
Nice.
Anything else?
That'll be it. I'll end my turn there.
Bells?
All right.
Tough spot here.
Yeah. I'm kind of behind someone at the moment.
You're behind someone. They've got the they've got the high ground, and you're holding a torch at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm doing that. I am going to cast Misty Step and go. If I can see up to there, so I'm gonna go up to. We'll go 20 feet.
Okay.
And
Sounds good. That's a bonus
action.
action.
And this door, which way is it open?
In.
Inwards.
But you'd be aware that there are people inside. They're
There's
coming out.
yeah, because I can kind of see that through the little glance. Yeah, the light is actually very nice here. I can see that. I'm assuming closing the door from this position would involve me moving, and that would be an action, right? So.
Yeah, I think that would be interaction with an object, which I would say, because of the complexity of the situation, would be an action. Yeah, I'd say you'd be able to do it, but yeah, you'd probably have to drop down to the next step down, that landing.
Well, yeah, but it still would be an action, and Misty Step's an action. Or no, it's a bonus action. Never mind.
Yeah, Misty Steps is a bonus. Yeah.
Never mind. I saw that as an action. So I'm gonna do that. Step down, slam the door.
Okay.
And that's gonna be all my stuff. That's movement.
All right. Wisp, you are starting to be surrounded. You've got those zombies that are laughing. Or zombies, sorry. Skeletons that are laughing on either side. And you've got one that just shot down at you from the top of the stairwell. What would you like to do?
I don't like this. Let's see. I'm going to cast Moonbeam at the top of the stairs.
All right. So yes, it is engulfed in ghostly flames. So when a creature enters the spell's area for the first time, or on a turn, or starts its turn, so it wouldn't be up until we get to that point.
Right.
But would you like to roll your damage?
Sure.
10, very good. That is an action. Anything else you'd like to do?
I'm trying to remember how to do something real quick. All right, come on, internet. I'm going to roll one of my Balm of the Summer Court dice to give myself a little bit of health.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm just gonna roll 1d6. And that will give me one.
Very nice.
Okay, hey, better than a kick to the face.
Okay.
Cool, and that'll end my turn.
All right, skeleton's turn. So this one is going to take 10 damage, which will take it out. Dead. Need moonbeam again. Yeah, this another one's gonna enter in, and will also take that 10. Doesn't collapse, but is definitely hurt. Definitely hurt by that. You can hear the sizzling and the pain coming from the skeleton.
Good.
The one behind you is gonna move up. So you are basically being flanked by these two skeletons. Go ahead and both are going to kind of punch at you. The one above you is going to miss. The one below you is going to miss, because that is just how rolls happen. That is their turn. They're both like punching at the same time. You're somehow able to dodge and weave around it. Door is going to open. But that's basically this guy's action. And stay there. Verify. Yeah. Okay. This guy will move up. And Vels, I'm gonna need a charisma saving throw from you. Another one of these laughers are gonna move into position, sees you, laughs at you, but no, it's no big deal. No big deal. You got this. This guy has a short sword and is going to take a swing at Calgrim, because I would think it hasn't really noticed you yet with the Misty Steps. Short sword to Calgrim with a 7, so we'll miss on that. And again, you're just able to repay the favor. It threw your warhammer out of the way, then tried to swing down, and you blocked it with your warhammer. I'll take us to Calgrim. What would you like to do?
All right. Well, I'll make a swing at the skeleton front. Hopefully, it is able to take this guy out. Am I back on normal now, or on disadvantage?
Yes, you're normal. It was just the first attack.
Ah. Okay. Cool.
17 connects. 7, and yep, that's exactly what you need. You just plow through this guy. He collapses and dies. His bones just kind of scatter through the stairwell.
I'm gonna probably also move up to where that skeleton was as well. And that'll be my turn.
Sounds good. Vels. Doors open. Laughter is heard. You're not phased by it, though. You saw Calgrim just wipe through this guy. But you do know there are 2 right next to you. What would you like to do?
I am going to scream and use my breath weapon. Oh, wait.
Yeah. All right. Hold on a second.
I don't know if that's.
Yeah, and I don't know how to rotate this. Oh, it's like control and mouse wheel, but that's gonna take forever. So we'll say it's 15 feet, so 5, 10, 15. I'd say you'd be able to hit.
There we go.
You'd be there. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So yeah, you'd be able to. Yeah, you're hitting everybody in here. Go ahead and roll it.
And we'll.
Radiant damage. Okay, it's good to know. I was gonna ask if it was fire. Okay. So 9 radiant damage. That'll be enough. This guy. Enough to take out the laugher. Enough to take out the other guy. Last one. Yeah, we'll say it's enough to take. So
Nice.
yeah, you scream and roar. Use your breath weapon, and it spreads across the first, just like the threshold of this room. Takes out 3 of the 4. The laugher is still in front of you.
All right. Well. I'm going to move up 1, and that's going to be my turn.
Okay, sounds good. Wisp, you are surrounded still.
And since I'm surrounded, I'm going to go ahead and cast Thunderwave.
Okay. So, before you cast this, just to remind you, okay. Weird objects that are completely with Okay. But it's a thunderous boom within 300 feet. Now, you're already aware of a collapse in the southern hallway.
Fair.
Are you
Okay.
sure this is what Wisp would do? Knowing that there already has been a collapse.
I think she would be a little bit smarter than that. So no, she's not going to do that. And instead, oh, let's see. What are my options? Just, let's see. I guess I'll try Frostbite again.
Okay, who are you aiming at?
On the, let's see. On the guy behind me.
Okay, 14 Constitution save will succeed.
Ah, of course.
He meets the 14. Anything else?
Do you consider taking a potion of healing an action or a bonus action?
I forget what we had said. Hold up, let me look, because I got house rules on this.
Mm-hmm.
And let me just verify what I'd said. All right, if you use an action with health potions, you get the max amount. If you use a bonus action, you roll. So yes, you can use a bonus action and you would roll it like you normally would. It's just that if you use it as an action, you get the full amount. So as a bonus action, you can use it, but you roll. So yes. Short
I guess I'm
answer,
not
yes,
down
you
quite.
can do that.
Okay, I might save that for next turn depending on how things go. I don't really have much in the way of bonus actions, so I guess I'm just gonna end my turn and hope for the best.
Okay, go ahead and roll your damage for the moonlight.
Moonbeam?
Moonbeam.
Let me scroll back up.
It's a 2d10. 15, that's much better. That'll take out this
Nice.
guy. He is... alright, very good. Skeletons. The two that are flanking you, again, are going to go for punches. They're going to punch at you. Got an advantage because they're flanking. Your AC is 13, so first one will hit. Second one will miss. So the first one, the high ground, do 3 bludgeoning damage to you.
Okay.
From the doorway, this guy is going to move out, but not move completely out. And is just going to start to laugh again. Vels. Now, actually, Calgrim, roll me a charisma saving throw.
Okay.
That'll be a fail. It was a DC 12. So you will take 4 psychic damage. You are also demoralized again, so you have a... Wait, no, I'm sorry. No, I take that back. All right, very well. But that's its turn. Calgrim. Guy is laughing at you, and it hurts. What would you like to do?
I would probably like to go in the middle here of the hallway and try and hurt it back. Let's see. Attack.
Actually, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We're gonna hold off that roll. I'm gonna need both you and Vel's. Well, no, I'm sorry. Just you right now. A wisdom saving throw.
Yep.
There's a crit fail. You have 2 opportunities for inspiration, either DM inspiration or you also have the group assistance. So another member can assist Calgrim with this roll if they'd like to.
Yeah, I'll assist him.
Okay. Calgrim, re-roll.
Oh, thank you. On the wisdom saving throw?
Wisdom saving throw, yes.
Okay.
16. Okay, you will make,
Hey.
that. All right,
Thank
very
you.
good. Go ahead. So you rolled a 15 on the Warhammer. That will connect. So go ahead and roll your damage. 7. So you strike at it, deals a nice blow. Bones kind of chip away, crack. It is still there, still laughing. Anything else you'd like to do?
No, I'll end my turn.
Val's wisdom saving throw, please. It is laughing. Maniacally and hurtfully.
Let's see.
17 will succeed. What would you like to do?
Let's double check. Range throw. All right, we're gonna cast Ray of Frost. And
20 will connect. 3. Bones begin to freeze up. Few of them break apart, but he's still standing there, still laughing. What else?
that's gonna be it for this time.
Wisp. You're also hearing this laughter. Can I have a wisdom saving throw from you?
Yes.
15 will succeed. What would you like to do?
I'm going to move my moonbeam down so it covers the guy in front of me.
Okay, sounds good.
And I believe that's an action, so I will just hold off. That's it.
Verify that. Moonbeam. Yeah, you can use an action. Sounds good. Very well. Then these skeletons, hearing the laughter from down to the south, they both start to laugh. So Wisp, can I get a charisma saving throw? 2 charisma saving throws from you.
Ugh, do not like. Okay.
19. Okay, don't roll the second one. We'll use that for both.
Thank you.
Yeah, that looks good. Sounds good. Well, that's their turn. Can you roll damage on Moonbeam for the top guy?
Moonbeam. Do.
15. Right, not enough to take it out, but it is sizzling, and it is not enjoying its time there for sure.
Good.
But it's going to stay put. The last guy that is with you guys down to the south, it will... it's gonna attempt to punch you, Calgrim. Square in the face. 12 will miss though. So as it punches forward, you're able to see it, and you just kind of move back slightly, just out of range. Calgrim, it's your turn.
Well, just go and hit the skeleton again. Attack.
16 connects. Just enough. Take this guy out. Bones scatter. You're aware that there are 2 more up above that are surrounding Wisp. It doesn't seem like there's any more in this room.
Yo.
Would you like to do?
Could I get past Vels or?
Yes. Yeah, you can move through friendly space.
Okay. I'll just move up to here,
All right.
and that'll be my turn.
Sounds good. Vels.
Alright, I'm gonna walk, move 5 up, and then let me see. I'm gonna cast Misty Step again, so we can get exactly there. So Misty Step over there.
Yep.
Let me cast out through here, so it actually takes that. Then Vel's priority right now is to make sure that the door doesn't close back down on us. 'Cause that would be really bad. So let's take a step out. Cool. Don't see anyone out here. So it's my action. You know what? Do this. I think.
So, you would be aware that there is this light, this beam of light here. You know it's
Yeah.
negatively affecting the skeletons. So I think you would have some inclination. This is the first time I believe you're seeing it in combat with Wisp, but I would get the sense that you would know not to step there.
Yeah. I'm just checking. Let's see. Let's double check this. Okay, we'll do Chromatic Orb. At that guy. We will choose fire damage. And there we go.
23 connects. And it, the damage roll is not built in for some reason, but I believe it is a 3d8. Yeah.
Yep, I can click that.
And that just destroys this thing. Bones scatter, most of them on fire. Anything else?
That's gonna be it.
Wisp, you are flanking this guy in the center of you and Calgrim. The bones in front of you are on fire, and yeah, it looks like Bells took care of that. What would you like to do?
I guess since there's not a whole lot else I have in my repertoire, I guess I'm just gonna smack him with my staff.
Okay. Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll your damage. Make sure to hit the critical. That seems really unfair. 3. All right. You take a crack out of it. It knocks the head off. Cleaves right through the head. The laughter stops, but the body is still standing there. Anything else you'd like to do?
I just kind of glare at it.
All right. It is gonna turn around wildly without a head, and it is trying to hit someone. It is rolling at a disadvantage. And will flail about and miss all of you. Calgrim. Got an open shot. Can't see you. We'll say you have advantage on this hit.
Okay.
Well, you already have advantage because you're flanking, but still.
Okay.
19 connects. Crush through the chest. Bone scatter. Go ahead and roll your damage. 3. We'll say that is enough. Take it out. We will end combat. So that was interesting. That was rough. That probably wasn't what you guys were necessarily expecting. You are aware that the chanting began when you rung the bell, though. For some reason, it had some kind of effect on them. But you don't know if they would have still been hostile if you had just gone in without ringing the bell. You'll never know. But we didn't take a break today. So do we want to take a break and go maybe until about 10:30?
Sure.
All right, let's take a
quick break.
Oh, go ahead, Kelvin. You have objections?
Oh no, sorry. In terms of, yeah, that's fine. I'm fine to do a break.
Okay. Bells?
Yep, that's fine.
All right, we take our break, and we'll be back in roughly like 3 to 5 minutes.
Yep.
Okay, I am back.
As am I.
As my.
I'm ready to go as well.
I'm very bad at predicting times. I don't know. I don't even know how to improve on that. But it just seems like so months from now, I think it'll be an acceptable point for you guys to check this out. But I did a session prep video for this, and but in the prep video there's going to be spoilers for the next couple of sessions, so I would avoid it for now.
Yeah.
But yeah, in that I clearly suggested I was thinking that this stretch, what you guys are doing right now, would be at most 90 minutes. I don't know how to improve on that. It's like there's no way to guess. There's no way to predict, I guess.
Mm-hmm. It's hard to tell.
But okay,
Well, we had to
back
get-
into this.
We had to get Colgrim and Vels up
Yeah,
to
we
where
had,
we were.
yeah,
as
we
well,
had to
so-
get everyone together. And
But I think tonight's
that
going really
takes
well.
time.
Mm.
Me too. I'm enjoying tonight.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Agreed.
All right. So I can close out of those notes. Calgrim, open up your. Okay. All right. So we'll pick up from there. Yeah, you guys don't know what necessarily caused the skeletons to react the way they did. Again, the bells is what started the chanting. It also seemingly caused the collapse that you saw in the southern hallway. Yeah, I don't know. So, I would say at this point, you guys are roughly certain. You've maybe spent about a half an hour down here. In total. But there doesn't really seem to be much as far as left to explore, unless you spent the time to try to clear through the break in that hallway. If
Can we?
you even wanted to continue to explore, I suppose.
Well, it looked like there might have been some books in this room.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So I think Wisp is going to go in there and see what she can find as far as see if there's maybe any history of the place or why this is here.
Okay.
I guess even any books that might just still be in one piece.
Go down, check it out.
I think the game's still paused.
Is it? I guess
On
it
my
is.
end.
Yes, it is.
Oh.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead. I'll move you up. I'll move you down. I'll move Vels in that general area. Go ahead. All right. So, yeah, Wisp, as you get in there and start looking around, you are gonna notice, yeah, there are other shelves. Not not all the way to the ceiling, but just filled with books. Now there are books that were left out on the benches, those 4 benches in the center. There are some cobwebs in here as well. I think that'd be pretty noticeable. There's some loose books up on some of the shelves too. But go ahead and roll a perception. And Vels, you're walking in here too?
Yes.
Perception.
All right, Vels, go ahead and roll perception as well. And then I'm gonna pause the game for just a second.
I needed my Rive guidance. I always forget about that.
All right, so a 13 and a 7. Okay. Calgrim, go ahead and roll perception as well.
Nope.
9. Right. Not very good. Y'all. If you've got the ability to give advantage, feel free to do so. If you've got DM inspiration, you can feel free to reroll if you'd like to as well.
We have both of those, or is it one? Yeah, either or.
Either or per person.
Okay, because I already gave mine to Calgrim, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see.
That was
can give-
group assistance.
Yeah, I'll give
So-
Wisp advantage
With group assistance.
with group assistance. Yeah.
I'll do the same with Vels.
All right, so Vels and Wisp reroll. Vels got an 11. That's better.
Wow.
Wisp, you had 13.
Oh,
we'll go with the 13.
Can I say that I guided myself as well? Because I was thinking about it. I just completely forgot.
I'll say it's unnecessary.
Okay.
We'll go with the 13 because you'd be rolling at advantage. So 13, 11, and 9. All right. So Vals and Wisp, as you enter into this room and you're starting to look around, I think the noticeable things again is what I've already suggested. You've got bookshelves filled with books. You've got books that are laid out. You've got as far as on the benches. But I would say Wisp with that 13. I'll say that you're noticing the skeleton that is right next to you. This guy right here. He has a pen in his hand, like a feather quill pen. There are jars of ink that are also kind of up on some of the tops of the shelves. He's got he's got like a feather quilled pen in his hand. There are some other feather quill pens that have been left out on the benches as well. But before we move forward, Calgrim, you're not sure what's going on, but you're looking into this room and you're seeing the bookshelves and the books, and maybe it's just like the dead skeletons, or no, it's definitely the books. Something about these books that makes you want to not enter in. It's like you're afraid of these books for some reason. You have no interest in moving closer into this room.
Right. I'm just gonna stay out here. You two can search through the books and stuff.
I mean, if you're sure.
Yeah, just some something that just doesn't feel right. I don't. Something tells me that I shouldn't enter. I don't know what it is, but yeah, I'll just stay put here.
I think Wisp is going to go to the skeleton that has the book in its hand and see if she can look at it and see what's inside.
Okay. All right. So, you sit down on the bench, or you stay standing?
They're going to stay standing.
You open up this book, and first observation that you make is you see names and 2 columns of dates. So you see a name, you see date next to it, and not all of them have dates on the 3rd column, but majority of them have dates on that 3rd column. Dates are spaced out. Start kind of flipping through it. Looks like there's at least 30, 40 years in between the dates, at least. A lot of them like range from like 100 to 200 and more.
You mean as far as like when they're written in there, or as far as like the date range between, like, for a single name?
Single name.
Okay.
Again, it's like a name, a date, and a date.
Do I recognize any of the names?
Well, again, a quick scan through. You do make it to the last page that's been filled out, about halfway through. There is one name there that does stand out to you. Or at least that you recognize. And I'll post it into the chat. The name is Mestima Erstat.
Mm-hmm.
Mestima
Yep.
was the lead investigator in Hovedstad. And the date in the last column matches the date that you found out that she was taken over by a shifter. Start to get the idea that these books are recording birth dates and death dates.
Interesting. Well, if that's the only name that I recognize, I'm going to take this book with me and see if I can find out some more information.
Okay.
I'm also going to let them know.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to let the Vels and Calgrim know, but I don't think I'm going to tell Jabal.
Okay.
I don't know if he knows anything about the shapeshifter business, and I don't want to even bring it up. Are there any names on the spines of the books on the shelves?
No. Yeah, the spines are completely empty. There's definitely a different colors of leather, but you're not sure of the significance.
I'll just pull one off, maybe like the last book on the top row or something like that of one of the shelves, the closest shelf. I don't want to go too far in there.
All right, Val's, she has alerted you of what she had found. She's starting to pull off another book from the shelf. What are you doing? How are you reacting to this information?
Are you sure it's a good idea to keep that one book?
Well, it has some information we might be able to use. Do you think we should leave it here?
I don't know. Say, keep a close guard on it. I don't know. We don't know if there's like any magical tie to it or anything.
Can I cast?
We're doing down here.
Can I cast detect magic?
Yes, you can. So you're not detecting any specific auras. So books aren't magical, pens and ink aren't magical. But I would say there is a very faint aura that is just fading away around the dead skeletons that are in.
Can I tell if it's some kind of necromancy or?
That's a good question.
I'm just curious what type of magic it is.
Yes, necromancy is fair.
Okay, so looking into the second book, is there anything in particular that of note that I see?
Go ahead and let's roll something. Let me look what you got. Let's roll with I'm gonna say based on proficiency, I would go with perception.
Ugh.
You don't see you see half of a name that you recognize. And that name is Kel. case it's not obvious, the why Cal rings a bell is because of Val's last name.
I just turned the book around and like almost put it in Vel's face. Not quite, but really close. You should look at this.
Oh, what?
You start skimming the page, Vels, and yeah. Birthdays and the death days of members of your family have been written down in this book. The general concept that you're getting is they go the day, as far as order goes, it's by birthday. So as you were born, your name is written in these books, and when you die, the death date is updated. But Vels, yes, you would see quite a few members from your family. But then skimming that page and maybe flipping through some more pages, it seems like a lot of the deaths that happened at war were recorded down in here.
Bells is just kind of going through it and kind of like shedding a few tears, just like remembering a lot of these that he remembered when he was really young.
I have a sense that all of these books are probably containing the same thing.
Yeah.
Very likely.
Now, did you say that there were some that had like a birthday recorded but not a death day?
That you saw, yeah.
Okay.
This, I think you guys would just gather in general, like from a personal standpoint. There's obviously some meaning here for you, especially Vels. To know that potentially your guys' names are in here as well, and your families and your generations before you, that sort of thing. Like that's a pretty big deal. It's a treasure trove of information that would be very useful for the Guild of Records. This is weird, though, because again, you saw a pen in one of Skeleton's hands. I think the question would be why were they writing this down? Who if it is a necromancy spell that was causing them to do so, like what was the purpose? Why were they doing this?
Well, how long has this been going on?
As well as the fact is of now that you've taken them all out, what kind of effect will that have on this? And is that a negative or not? Who knows? Maybe it might be a neutral effect. But yeah, there's a lot of information down here. Unfortunately, there is just not a lot of time to dive through all of the books.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we're talking hundreds and hundreds of books that cover these shelves.
Perhaps we should just take these couple, leave
Leave the rest.
before. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We can let the Guild of Records know where this is, and they can come back later.
Yeah, we can send him a message when it's safe to do so.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess before we go, I just want to be able to see if that sound is still coming from the well.
Sorry, I forgot I had that paused. I would say you guys have been in this room for at least 10 minutes, kind of going through some. So 10 minutes after the battle. Most of the time, it was completely silent. You are still hearing some sounds coming from the well, but it is not as prominent. Not as constant. Still there every once in a while, but I don't know if you get the same feeling of being drawn to it much anymore. That's a lot that you just went through and what you found. I don't know how you'd be feeling about exploring anymore in here.
Yeah, I think without a bunch more time, we've seen all that we can see. And so if everyone's in agreement, we can probably start heading back up the stairs before it gets too late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be best.
I'd like to not spend the night here.
Right. I'll go ahead and pause and bring you over to the other map. Yeah, you guys went down right about 9 o'clock. So at this point, it's about 9:40. So as you reach the top, Drabble is sitting there just kind of looking off towards the stars, and he's just occupying himself. But as you guys make it back up, he looks back over and smells. Done already? Find anything good?
Skeletons.
No.
Skeletons.
Skeletons. Trying to murder.
You look like you've been in some kind of scuffle. But besides skeletons, it was. I heard bells ringing before. Beautiful sound. Sounded like it was coming from down below.
That's kind of what brought the skeletons. It was pretty. There were some books down there, but we didn't have time to really go through them. We wanted to make sure we got up here before we got caught.
And the voice, it seems to have died down. What causing the groan?
No idea.
No idea.
No clue.
Game.
Yeah, if we weren't on our mission, I wouldn't mind coming back here and looking some more, but we are on a schedule.
Yes, of course. more important things. Well,
Oh, this place isn't going anywhere.
I collected some of these mushrooms. They seem very basic stuff, but it really interesting place.
It is.
I'm
I
glad
agree.
we came out. Glad we came out.
I'm glad I
I
followed you.
suppose we should start heading back.
I agree.
We have a long day of travel tomorrow. Not super long, but
We should get some sleep.
Before we go, I think we should at least observe to see what happens. Moonlight exits out of this room.
Ooh,
you
absolutely.
do have a point.
Very well.
He sits back down and just kind of watches.
I'll do the same.
Doesn't say much.
But now I'm feeling a bit more somber than excited as I was before.
About 20 minutes goes by, and yeah, light exits out of the room, and mosaic slab of stone lowers back down and spins and locks into place. Knew it. Knew that's what happened. I'm glad you came out when you did. Been terrible if you had been stuck down there. I really
Well,
don't
I'm glad you
see
didn't
any
have to
other
go
way to
down.
get out.
It would have been difficult. And I'm glad you didn't go down there by yourself.
I don't think I would. I'm not much of a delver. Elf. At least seeing what it could do. The entrance was. I think that was enough knowledge for me.
Hmm.
A lot of magic in this world.
And a lot we don't
All
understand.
very interesting. So you guys exit out and start making your way back. Reach the center of town. Jabble suggests he's just gonna sleep in his cart off to the side. Meet back up with you in the morning.
Sounds good.
But from the mayor's house, the mayor Strongheart walks out. Ah, hope you weren't waiting out for me.
Not at all.
No, we just got back.
I hope you weren't waiting for
back.
us.
Oh, meetings. Oh, awful. Awful thing. But it'll be good for Crystal Head. Get some trade going. But just got back. You did some adventuring.
Investigating.
Well, I'd love to hear about it, but on the road tomorrow. Now I'm heading back to the tavern to get a drink and head to bed.
I wouldn't mind doing the same.
Sounds like a plan.
And likewise.
That's where we'll end. You guys head back into the tavern to get a drink and a long rest. Pick back up in the morning. You guys getting back on the road.
Well, that was interesting.
Yeah.
Hard to not be a murder hobo. I've had bad experiences with skeletons in the past.
Yeah.
All right, we'll close off the live stream here. Again, thank you everyone for tuning in. You know, we've had some viewers sticking around for pretty much the whole time, which is super nice. Hopefully
Thanks
you
for being here.
enjoyed Medikit. Yeah, Medikit. It was wonderful to see you again. And yeah, pick back up next time. Later.